Today we're with Tim Sackett at HRU Tech, and you always have some great tips. And today we're talking about the top 3 mistakes that are made when it comes to pay, and we're looking for a job. Talk to me about that.
Well, I think candidates, immediately their first mistake is that they forget to ask right up front. Like the first time you get a connection about a job, a recruiter reaches out to you, and they're like, hey, are you interested? Right then you should ask. But they're so excited, they get the connection, that they forget. And then they're like, oh, now I don't want to be in the interview and ask, because that would be another major mistake. Like, oh, first time I'm in the interview with the hiring manager, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, by the way, what does this job pay? Like, that's too late. That's a really bad form.
Yeah, that's true. And sometimes it could be a waste of your time. So what are the tips that you have to pass along if we're in that situation?
Yeah, so first and foremost, you have to ask right away, right? You should just understand that it's okay, right? Like HR or talent acquisition, recruiting, whoever you're dealing with, they would actually prefer that you understand, like, hey, can we afford this person, right? Or are we totally off base in terms of what that money might be? You know, some of the other things that people, I think, fail on is that they think, oh, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to wait till the end and I'm going to negotiate. You know, again, probably not the best way to deal, you know, from that standpoint. So again, there's just so many mistakes I think that we make by not just communicating and addressing up front. And they think that that hiring manager is going to think I'm greedy if I ask, or that HR person is going to think I'm greedy if I ask. No, we want to make sure that we can afford you. We want to make sure that we're on the same page. So it's not a mistake to actually address this up front. It's a mistake to wait until the end.
Well, we don't want to waste our time. We don't want to waste their time. We might as well kind of get it out on the table at the beginning to know if we're off base or if we can maybe negotiate a little.
Yeah, and again, I think when we talk about like the negotiation and maybe the mistake there is, I think too often people feel like, oh, well, I'm going into this job, my friend referred me, my friend's making $17 an hour, and so again, I'm not going to ask, I'm just going to assume that I'm also going to be paid $17. Well, maybe your friend had 3 years of experience and you have none. So again, that assumption that I'm going to get paid the same as somebody else is also another major mistake.
It might be uncomfortable to have that conversation up front, but then again, saving yourself some time and saving the employer some time.
Yes, for sure.
So if salary is so important, why aren't employers posting it right away with these job descriptions? And if you've ever wondered that, Stephanie is going to be back with Tim Sackett here at HRU Tech to answer that and more.